She was there, spotted, kind of cutting the ribbon on these basketball courts at the Caitlin Clark Foundation. That little clip right there, I believe that's Caitlin Clark's brother in the background there. That little clip right there has definitely drew a lot of eyes, man, of Caitlin Clark actually kicking this damn soccer ball.
Is Caitlin Clark really injured, or is there something bigger going on in Indiana? The video of her kicking a soccer ball has left fans scratching their heads while the team insists on a cautious return. But why did ESPN drop a bombshell on Coach Stephanie White? Something doesn't add up. Before we move on, I'd like to ask you a small favor. If you appreciate this content, please take a second to like this video and subscribe to the channel. Over 98% of you watch the videos without subscribing. It costs you nothing, but it makes a huge difference to us. So, did you click the subscribe button? Great! Thank you so much. Now, back to the video. Caitlin Clark's injury seemed minor when it first hit the news. A groin strain labeled day-to-day. It sounded like she'd be back in no time. Fans were expecting a quick recovery, especially after team doctors suggested it wasn't serious. But here we are, weeks later, and Clark still hasn't touched the court. So, what gives?
There's not much in it. Like, obviously, she's going off hurt. I think she's trying to carry this league on her shoulders. And the refs are letting them beat the crap out of her. That doesn't help things. So if you're looking here, she's being hacked the entire way down the floor, by the way.
The Fever started by assuring everyone that her absence was just precautionary. But when the weeks stretched on, people began to question whether this was more than just physical rehab.
And it looked like Caitlin Clark is turning heads after being spotted kicking a soccer ball, but it looked like she don't give a damn. She doing what she want to do, dog. Now, with all that being said, Caitlin Clark is back at home in Iowa, giving back to the kids, man. I reported on this yesterday.
Then came the video. Clark casually juggling a soccer ball, looking anything but injured. It didn't take long for this clip to spread like wildfire. Social media blew up with questions. If she's moving like that, why isn't she playing? It wasn't just a few tweets either.
She was there, spotted, kind of cutting the ribbon on these basketball courts at the Caitlin Clark Foundation. That little clip right there, I believe that's Caitlin Clark's brother in the background there. That little clip right there has definitely drew a lot of eyes, man, of Caitlin Clark actually kicking this damn soccer ball.
Entire Reddit threads popped up analyzing her every movement, debating whether the Fever were hiding something. Suddenly, a groin injury was looking less like the problem and more like the excuse. What makes this all the more confusing is the inconsistency in how the Fever handled Clark in the past.
That has fans like, wow. So this is the clip here. Let me see if I can get it blown up and start it over. And as Caitlin Clark is supposed to be injured right now, and she's not supposed to be doing things like that. They told her to take it easy.
Earlier this season, they rushed her back into a game after she was sidelined for a minor ankle issue. The team clearly wanted her star power on the floor, even if it meant taking risks. But now, they've flipped the script. They're preaching patience, saying her health comes first. Fans aren't buying it. What's changed? Why suddenly pump the brakes? Experts have chimed in too. One WNBA analyst didn't hold back, saying, "The Fever's lack of transparency is killing their trust with fans." These comments are resonating because they match what fans feel: confused, frustrated, and maybe even lied to. Watching their team, hoping to see Clark, and instead getting vague updates feels like a betrayal. This isn't just about a player sitting out, it's about trust between the team and its supporters. And here's where things really get interesting. Is there more going on behind the scenes? Internal issues, management decisions, or even politics within the locker room? Whatever it is, one thing's clear: this isn't just about the injury anymore. For weeks, fans and analysts were already frustrated with the Indiana Fever's silence on Caitlin Clark. Social media was full of questions that the team wouldn't answer. Why isn't she playing? Is she actually hurt, or is this something else?
The physical battle that Caitlin particularly faces, maybe within tonight's game or just in general as you
her learn to adjust and use it against them in certain ways. We've got to find some ways to make it a little bit easier for her.
The Fever released statements that said a lot without really saying anything, and this only fueled the sense that something wasn't adding up. Then ESPN dropped a report that took everything we thought we knew and flipped it upside down. In the report, ESPN hinted at a much bigger issue. They suggested that Caitlin Clark might not be playing, not because of her injury.
you've gotten used to coaching or just what you see she's enduring physically.
Are you trying to get me fined again?
I am not.
And I see it as her coach, and I'm not exactly sure why, but it just is what it is, and we've got to help. Yeah, I mean, there's a level of physicality that they're able to play with against her. I knew it as an opponent.
But because of internal decisions influenced by coach Stephanie White, the word sidelining came up, a loaded term when you're talking about one of the brightest stars in basketball. Fans went wild with speculation. Was this a move to protect team dynamics? Did White decide to avoid chemistry issues, keeping Clark away from potential conflicts? Or worse, was there tension between Clark and key players? ESPN didn't confirm every detail, but what they did reveal was enough to set off a wave of controversy. White didn't help her case when she addressed the allegations in a tense press conference. She brushed off questions about the report, calling them outside noise, and saying that everything happening with Clark was being handled internally. If she thought this would shut the door on the topic, it had the opposite effect. Fans and analysts took her vague response as more evidence that something shady was going on. What could possibly be so internal that no one on the outside can know? Meanwhile, fan theories are running wild. Some believe Clark's continued absence is a way to avoid sparking a rift with veteran players, while others think the team is overly cautious about managing her image. The Fever's upcoming game against the Phoenix Mercury only adds to the tension. If Clark doesn't play, especially with so much at stake, it's hard to see how the Fever explain that choice without more backlash. Now, experts are openly questioning Stephanie White's leadership. They're wondering if the Fever have what it takes to support a marquee player like Clark. The spotlight is on, and fans want answers. How much longer can the Fever keep dodging this? The Caitlin Clark situation feels like way more than just an injury now. It's become a spotlight on how the Indiana Fever handles their players, their fans, and their future. Trust is hanging by a thread, and the longer this drags on, the harder it'll be to fix. The Fever's lack of transparency is killing their trust with fans, one analyst said, and it really sums up how heated this has gotten. So, will the Fever come clean and save face? Or will fans and analysts force the truth into daylight? Either way, this story is nowhere near over yet,